Oh, hey guys, it's Alicia Brown, the Joy Guru, and also the CEO of Fruition Publishing Concierge Services. And today I'm coming to talk to you about having an author's hit list. Um, for those of you that don't know what that means, an author hit list is your list, I would say suggestively, of at least 50 people or organizations that you can sell your book to. This is very important as an author. And so many times when I'm giving out that challenge, people are asking me, okay, why? Or they're going to do it, but they don't take it that seriously. And that's one of the biggest mistakes that authors can make. And here's the reason why. Because so many times, especially for novice authors, especially their first book, everybody just expects the support from friends and family. I mean, why would the people that you love not want to support you, right? But let me give you this scenario. Let's say you're the type of person that you have a new business idea and you go to your family and friends with it. On average, for most people, at first, family and friends are so excited for you. Yeah, I'll support you. They may even go the extra mile that first time to get a couple of girlfriends, couple people that they know to support you as well. But then let's say 6 months later, that business is no more. You're no longer excited. You decide to go and try something else. So now there's another idea. Maybe you're going to be part of an MLM or something, and you've got these, visions of all this money you're going to make after you hear their prep talk and the training they supposedly are going to give you. Now you go back to your family and friends. And a lot of times you still find the same level of support, and they try to get a couple friends to help you too in your endeavors. But let's say 6 months after that, and you've lost momentum. Okay, maybe you take a little time off, and then the next time you look, here's a third thing, and then a fourth thing. You can follow the pattern with me. At some point, you always have something new, and some of those family and friends no longer want to support you because this is expected of you. You're always going on to something else. How many times can we keep doing this? So that's what happens when you always go to friends and family. As much as, you may feel good when family and friends support you, you expect that. It really isn't their job when it comes to things like this. I always tell authors and clients, your book isn't for everyone. It's not. And when you wrote it, you should have written it with that perspective that it wasn't for everyone. And actually, before you put pen to paper, you're supposed to identify what your message is, but who needs it. Because books, I don't care if they're children's books or they're self help books, they offer some sort of a solution. And when you know exactly who that solution or book is for, you know what language they use, you know how they like to be spoken to, you know what they really are looking for and need to hear, that is the perfect solution to their problem. That's why you are the expert as the writer. So when you're writing to that person, that audience, and only that person. So by the time they have your book in hand, it feels like you're talking just to them. It feels like they sat down with their great friends, maybe at a good meal or with a cup of coffee or what have you, and just had a wonderful conversation. Those ones where you're troubled and you sit down, you talk to that person, and you walk away with a weight lifted off your shoulder. You walk away knowing exactly what you're supposed to do and the strength and the power to take the next steps. You can now see the big picture, and you're convinced that you can do this, that you are equipped. That's what a good book does to a person. Okay. Even in the case of, let's say it's a fantasy book, or let's say it's a children's book, and people go, well, how does that solve a solution? Well, I'm glad you asked, because when I share my story, you can go to thejoyguru.net/blog, and you can check out the article I wrote about what if your book could save a life. Book saved my life. It wasn't just a testimony of survivors, as I grew older, that is what literally saved my life. But also, When I was a child, I was an avid reader because books were my only form of escape from my abusive family situation. So having that time to escape and go somewhere else while I was sitting there in pain and misery, that was life for me. Okay, so don't fool yourself that a children's book or a fantasy book, or if you're not writing a self-help book, if your book isn't something about trauma or something like that, don't fool yourself in believing that it isn't still offering a solution. Because that person that just needs to escape, that person that needs to think about anything else and mentally be somewhere else other than their current situation, that fantasy, that humor, that comedy, that children's book, whatever it is, can be the solution. Okay, so now that you understand that all type of books, good books, offer a solution and therefore a specific audience, now let's go back to the hit list. Once you've identified who this book is for, now you know who to target to get the book. And this is why I say that author's hit list is so important, because you need to know, who do I need to go to? Who do I need to connect with and properly position my book for support? Too many authors are also making the mistake of looking at the individual sale versus group versus bulk sales. That's why on your author's hit list, you should have organizations. Okay. There are organizations that you're not competing with. And if you were asked to come speak for them or they present you, you're not their competition, but you are a solution for the group of people that you both are trying to talk to. Don't sell yourself short. Once you clearly identify who your audience is for your book, who's the ideal person that you wrote this book for, that needs to read, needs to hear what you have to say, needs to know you, trust me, there are organizations that are dealing with those people. There are organizations that has your audience in their seat. And the only thing you need is for that organization to know who you are and introduce you to their people. And that's when you can make even larger sales, because it's not just on an individual. You got the individuals in a group right there. And I always tell clients, think about some of these conferences that have thousands of people, these industry organizations, that your book would be the perfect either giveaway, door prizes, or you would be the perfect expert to come and speak to those people. You would be one of the perfect people. Maybe you have a breakaway session. It's not always them laying you on the main stage. And maybe the only part you have in the first conference, once they make the introduction, is that your book is a giveaway. That's okay too. Because trust me, if you make a bulk discount deal with this conference, this organization that has thousands of people there, let's say they buy a couple hundreds of your books as giveaways. The ideal situation is when they're buying thousands of your books to make sure that each attendant has a book. But sometimes, that depends on what book you wrote. Like if it's a medical conference and you've written something that relates to the topic they're talking about or fits that industry, then you probably have a better chance of getting all of those books ordered versus I wrote a kid's book. If the kid's book has nothing to do with what they're doing, yeah, not such a thing that can guarantee they're going to buy a copy for every person at their conference to be there. But nevertheless, that's neither here nor there. The thing about your author hit list is that's the type of things you need to think about. The individuals, 50 off the bat. Maybe it's where you work. Maybe it's the people you do business with. Maybe it's organizations that you volunteer at, or maybe it's organizations that are in your community. Maybe it's some state companies, state-ran companies. Maybe it's federal organizations. And when you make your author hit list, I don't want you to go into all the logistics in the beginning, because sometimes, it sounds good. You listen to what I'm saying, then you sit down and go, well, yeah, okay, if I did the government, like, who I had to contact, how I get into it, and, would there be red tape? Don't let your mind go there just yet. Just simply sit down, pen and paper. Okay, who do I know for sure would support me? Put down names, phone numbers, and emails, just something real simple. Then go to the organizations. Think about some of the organizations, the businesses, small businesses. Look at conferences, things like that. Who would your book be the perfect fit for? What events are going on, and not just your area. Look for things outside of your area, different states and things that have to deal with the topic or the audience that your book is written on. Be perfect for. Make that list. And here's the thing that's very important about the author hit list. If you're going to do this, remember that you continually need to make that list, because before launch, right now, you might sit down and let's say I give you 24 hours. You might give me a list of 50 people, and that's wonderful. Next steps would be making sure you have the contact information and how are you going to contact them and what are you going to say to position your book. And however, after that, as time goes on, as you continue to work your author's business, you're going to be exposed to other organizations you knew nothing about. Maybe one of these organizations, there's a point of contact. As you guys are introduced, they introduce you to a couple more. Matter of fact, here's a little bonus. If you're talking to someone and it doesn't work out or they deny you, don't just take that, okay, well, thank you anyway, and hang up. No, if someone gives you a no, well, let me ask you this. I understand it's not the perfect fit for you. Do you know perhaps a couple organizations, now that I've told you what my objective is, can you recommend at least 2 or 3 organizations or people that this would be perfect for? Some of you are missing opportunity because once you get that no, you walk away. You don't even ask if they know someone else. And a lot of times people are not going to just think off the bat to give you that information. You ask them. So you could be getting from the one no, 3 other yeses or more if you ask. So make sure you do that as well. But that just gives you an example. This author's list, hit list is always going to change because you're going to become aware of other things, other concepts, maybe areas you didn't really think you were a perfect fit for, but now that you think about it, yeah, they have my people too. I hadn't thought about that. Or someone makes an introduction. So that list needs to continue to be built upon. Names and organizations need to continue to be added, because the thing about a successful author is that they're continually educating themselves. They're continually working. It's not one and done. It's like book launches. So many authors are missing profitability and visibility because you're stuck on just one launch. You can relaunch your book every 6 months. You either can relaunch your book every 3 months, because here's the thing, your book could have been out for years. There are tons of people that don't know who you are. There are tons of people that have not been introduced to you. There's so many podcasts, TV appearances, media interviews that you haven't had yet that will make an introduction flawlessly for you to your ideal people if you strategically plan it that way. So I wanted to come in with those tips today, emphasize the importance of an author's list, because here's the thing, he or she that knows her audience, it's he or she that will win. Whoever knows their audience the best and they're able to strategically build upon that and position themselves expertly, is he or she who will win. That needs to be you. This is not something that someone else can do for you. I know there will be delegation. I know there will be things we pay other people for, but at the end of the day, as the author, as the one who created this book and its vision, you're on the front line. So you have to take charge continually at all times. No one can do that part for you. They can give you tools and resources. They can guide you. They can coach you, but they can't do the work for you. At some point, you're going to have to do the work, and you're going to have to be the one that's the captain of your own ship. So one of the great places to start with that is the author's hit list. Now, should you have any questions about that, or you need assistance and you're looking for someone to help you publish, or you're looking for professionals that can help you with the different parts of publishing, make sure you visit us at fruitionpublishing.com. We have tons of resources. I'm even right now, the time you're watching this video, I have a challenge going on. And that challenge, you can always find us in my private Facebook group, the Authors Academy for Fruition Publishing Concierge Services. So make sure you look that up. Make sure you join us. Make sure you get on your email list so you can get trainings like this and other information to help propel your author success. And make sure you like and subscribe this YouTube video so you can always be updated. Put the alerts on so you can be updated of upcoming videos when they are publicized. So that's it for today. Good luck. Hope you build and grow your author's hit list for maximum results. And until next time, bye-bye for now. From Alicia Brown, the Joy Guru and CEO of Fruition Publishing Concierge Services.